Okay, so I just saw the movie Venom. Um, let's just start out with a little caveat. So, through all those critics, all those people that like to dissect films like it's a fucking sarcophagi, this isn't going to be that kind of a movie. And people seem that it is. They've been trying to just destroy it or something by reviewing it, saying it's shallow or whatever. But like, if you actually pay attention to the title and if you looked at any of the trailers, it's a monster movie. And if you know monster movies, they don't. It's not about the story. I never heard back in the day, oh, have you seen those Godzilla movies? Yeah, they had great story. No, you're talking about them fighting other monsters and all the crazy action that happens. So, with that being said, this movie is not going to blow your socks off, not going to have philosophical bullshit going on. It's not thought provoking, not really. It's about struggle. It's about this guy, you know, it's the character arc of this guy, Eddie, and how he becomes Venom. And all basically the set in the conflict and that whole story is basically this guy, rich guy, who thinks he can save the world, yada yada yada. World's on a brink of collapse. Blah, blah, blah. That I do understand. That's a bit much at times, but it just moves the plot along. It just gets to the you get the conflict. You get the conflict, so you can have symbiotes fighting. Okay. Now, as a Spider-Man fan, I am a little disappointed that they couldn't, that Sony, held on to Venom and didn't give it up to be in part, to be a part of Spider-Man into the MCU universe. With that being said, as a standalone Venom movie, I don't think you can get a better first movie out of it. Like, you get, you get Venom biting off their heads, breaking bones, a lot of just really awesome ways of like hurting people, killing people. You don't necessarily see a lot of everything, but from what you do see, it's good enough. It's definitely PG-13. I don't think they could have made this an R unless they would have just painted more blood. But yeah, and as a standalone Venom movie, it takes a lot of flack because if you know Venom's like the actual character of Venom and how Spider-Man had the symbiote first and then it latched on to Eddie, well, that is all just kind of put by the wayside. It's not even part of the story. They do reference how he was from New York. That's about it. So, from the aspect of Spider-Man, there's like nothing there. But what is there with Venom is there 100%. So, and this is an action movie. From the beginning to the end, there's action, and I have a problem with a lot of origin stories because a lot of the time the exposition takes way too long, and it's just torturous. And even like with this one, it has a fair bit of exposition, but at the same time, it goes back and forth between action and his story, and it's funny. It's actually way funnier than I thought it was going to be, and just kind of shows the range that Tom Hardy has as an actor, and like what kind of shit he can do. I mean, I could see him doing comedy after this because it was just such a weird um, Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing. He was just kind of like talking to himself out loud, and it was just it was entertaining. And that's what you get out of this movie. It's entertaining. You're not going to write a book about how amazing Venom is and how it changed your life forever and how you're going to change the way that you look at the world. If anything, it makes you want to see more Venom, which I am excited for. Because, well, a little spoiler, I mean, if you really care about that, it's there's not much to spoil about this movie. It's Venom, and there's a conflict. He beats the conflict, and then it's over. And so, but spoiler alert, just whatever. At the end, he has the interview with the guy who becomes Carnage, and then it ends. You don't even get to see like Carnage forming on. It's just the guy. So it's definitely setting up for another one, and I think he's at least signed up for 2 more movies. So as a standalone symbiote franchise thing, this can keep going for that long at least. Now, in the case of trying to have Venom cross over into the MCU, I think that's going to take some time. It's going to take at least till that franchise is over, and it's going to have to be a lot of different changes. It might have to change an actor or whatever, but I think from just what I've watched and from all the marketing and the money they poured into this movie, it's going to keep going, and I'd like to see what they can put in the future ones, and they'll jump right into the action sooner and hopefully actually, I don't know, think of a better story considering you'll have Carnage in it this time. But yeah, so as a movie, and I see a lot of movies, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It was great. Was it a fantastic movie that was flawless? Fuck no. But was it a good Venom movie? Excuse me. Was it a good first Venom movie? Hell yeah. And if you care about Venom, I mean, come on. I made this thing. And if you're going to see this movie and you like Venom, like if you're a Venom fan, even if you refused to see this movie because he's not a part of Spider-Man, go and see it because it's just fun. It's a roller coaster ride. It's like literally he's just running on top of buildings, and it's fun. It's a fun movie. If you have a lot of gripe about it, shove it up your ass. It's a fucking Venom movie. It's like Godzilla. It's just a monster movie. And that's coming from a fan. So, I don't know. I would suggest seeing it in theaters because it was a visual spectacle that I would actually see it in IMAX. I saw it in standard. But seeing it in standard is good enough if you don't like the big IMAX thing. But yeah, so go out and see Venom. I mean, it lived up to my expectations, even a little bit more. It was funnier. Although I do miss the laughing of Venom. You know, growing up 90s animated Spider-Man, but whatever, I digress. Of course, I did this all in one take because I'm crazy. So I'm just going to end this here. If you have any comments, go ahead, comment down below. Go ahead and give it a like, subscribe, all that shit. I make music. I don't know what I do with this channel. It's just here for your viewing fucking pleasure. I don't know. But this is my Venom review. Minimal spoilers, so enjoy.